Gentlemen, welcome to week 3, Divine Discipline, Walk the Path. Really excited to show you guys this presentation. Why? Because the first 2 weeks can be kind of heavy, right? You want some really powerful wins right off the bat. This is going to give you all the wins and more. Honestly, I would say that this week is worth your investment and more, and you're going to see why. For those of you who completed Paladin, which a lot of you should already have completed Paladin by being in this course, we're talking about the 5 standards at the end of this, but we're also talking about how this will not only change your business, change your lifestyle, but internally change the source where you feel absolutely on fire, and it will increase your testosterone. So go ahead and get a notebook and pen, and we're going to begin. Divine discipline. So it's important before we talk about divine discipline, what's the difference, gentlemen, between discipline and divine discipline, right? And by the way, divine discipline could also be sacred discipline. We kind of use that interchangeably. Everyone talks about discipline, guys, right? No one talks about divine discipline. So what's the difference? Discipline is push and divine discipline is pull. So you see this all the time, especially in America, where there's hustle culture, right? Push, push, push. And we're going to see this in this program, the difference. You're pushing with the flesh and you're kind of forcing yourself to do it. And that there's nothing wrong with that. That's actually really important in the beginning. You need to have discipline first before you have divine discipline. So don't get me wrong. You need discipline, but you need divine discipline even more if you want that sustained. Discipline will get you far. Pain will get you far because you're pushing, you're forcing. But what happens is you start burning out, which we're going to see. And you might see this in your business. You might see this in your life. Now, divine discipline is more of a pull. It's more of a pull. And feel that difference. Push, 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 and pull. Forcing a round peg in a square hole. Push, 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 push. Or get pulled by your heart, by a higher power, by God, towards your North Star. Because that's what we're going to be talking about here. You have a North Star. And that's what divine discipline is simply getting pulled towards that. Clarity comes through the practices that we do here, including meditation. But what this does, guys, is it creates the foundation for sustained peace, power, and dominion over your life. Yeah, you will get the results, but you can't be chasing the reflection if your image is messed up. This will create the foundation for you to be disciplined for the rest of your life because this is just, you're not really doing this. This is just who you are. So we're going to look here, what is the difference between the two? Let's bounce back and forth. Discipline is hustle culture. Divine discipline is service and overflow. Hustle culture is for the ego. Divine discipline is for others. Discipline is for the flesh, for ego. Divine discipline is for spirit, something higher than you, a sacrifice. And you're actually sacrificing the flesh. But with the flesh, if you're disciplined, you're sacrificing the spirit. Discipline is pushing and forcing. Divine discipline is pulling and effortless. Feel the difference in energy. So we're talking about words here, right? Like there's differences in words. Feel the differences in energy. And I want to be really clear. I'm not harping on discipline. Like, gentlemen, be disciplined in the beginning. There's nothing wrong with that. Teach discipline in whatever container you're in. But if you want the men that you're teaching or just the people around you to be inspired even more and for you to do something, you being disciplined for a higher cause, divine discipline is just the next step up. So I want to be clear. Discipline is not bad. It's just a lower tier in terms of sustainability, energy, and impact. Discipline is detriment of spirit. I just said that. Divine discipline is embodiment of spirit. You're embodying that person that you want to be. You're embodying that vision that you have for yourself, right? Discipline is surface level. When people ask you, why do you do this? You're like, it's just who I am, man. I just do it, bro, because I'm disciplined, man, and I got to do what I got to do. And there's nothing wrong with that. Maybe even mention your family, which is important, right? You do it for your family. You do it for your wife. You do it for all these things. But if you stopped and actually took a second and really sat with yourself, ask yourself why you're doing it. And that comes to divine discipline. Incredibly deep. You're doing it for God. And then everything else comes to fruition from that. All the fruits, right, come to that vine. One is a worldly desire, aim, money, ego, It could be even accomplishment on the worldly aim. Again, this isn't necessarily bad. It's just a different level. And divine discipline is for God and yours in his kingdom. Imagine that. Imagine that energy. One is common to burn out. This is what happens all the time. You're forcing yourself to do something. Eventually you burn out. And one is sustainable for a lifetime. So which one do you choose? Up to you, man. You don't have to be divine discipline, but I'm guessing all of you are here. You want to be. Call to arms. So, gentlemen, this is a spiritual war. What is going on? If you cannot see it, you cannot hear it, but you can feel it. And by the way, you can see it and hear it. That's actually not necessarily true. If you're in America especially, what is everyone doing? Everyone's on their phone, man. Everyone's looking down. Everyone's locked into something. They're getting distracted. They're talking about the hockey game last week, but they're not talking about God. And this isn't me preaching, but just look at the people. Look at what people are worshiping, right? We're worshiping idols. We're worshiping money. We're worshiping corn. I don't know why I'm saying that. This isn't going to be on YouTube. We're worshiping porn, right? Worshiping women on screen. When you worship women, when you worship money, when you worship these things outside of you, you are killing yourself energetically, bro. The only thing that we worship is the highest version that is giving us all these blessings. And once you have that, everything comes. Everything comes. But you can feel it, man, right? You have the music, you have different things. We're shifting from, there's people, I don't know why I'm holding this, it's like a remote thing. There's people who are calling to arms, like there's a movement happening in America, right? Where people are getting more into God and stuff like that, which is really cool. And we're seeing that. You're a part of that. That's one side. The other side is people are going down the other road. Atheism, materialism, all those different stuff. I mean, there's different movements happening. There's more atheists every day. There's also more Christians, especially. A lot of people are converting to Christianity. There's more people believing in God in general, more people asking questions. But that's the split. And so we can get more and more as AI gets more powerful. But the question for you is, will you rise to your highest potential? Are you going to rise effortlessly? It's like that balloon. Are you going to rise like that balloon? How do you do that? You let go and you let God take the wheel, right? Or are you going to fall to your knees with fleshy desires? That's the question. Are you going to fall to your knees with the food, fall to your knees with everything going on? Or are you going to really hold strong? Everything you say you want is within this. So I know a lot of you want dominion, right? You want dominion over your body, over your nervous system, over your mind, and you will get that with this course and more. But what's so beautiful is it's not found in addressing the symptoms. The reason why you have to reclaim your mind is because you have to reclaim your connection to source. The reason why you have to reclaim your nervous system is because you have to reclaim your connection to source. The reason why you reclaim your focus is because you have to reclaim your connection to source. And this is coming from somebody who suffered tremendously from OCD, burnout, depression, anxiety, lack of focus. I was diagnosed with ADHD, right? Focus is all over the place. It's chaotic. What is chaos? Chaos is fear. Chaos is control. I'm telling you, man, there's nothing wrong with your brain. It's just we have to do different practices, and meditation is number one. If you're not meditating, you need to be meditating. But the biggest thing is everything you say you want is within this vine. But you can't be looking at these different things and worshiping them. They are the symptoms. What do we talk about in Paladin? The body is the symptom, right? We don't chase the body, you chase the person. You chase that version of you that God has for you. And then eventually the discipline comes. Divine discipline, guys, is full embodiment of a temple fit to house a king. Let's read that again. What is divine discipline? It is full embodiment of a temple fit to house a king. And that's what you deserve, but you have to really earn it. You have to fight for it. You have to create these standards. And you inspire people by just being. You walk into a room, you don't got to say anything. You don't have to say anything. If you're single, women will start looking at you in a different way. Men will start respecting you in a different way. If you're with a partner, your wife will look at you in a different way. You'll want to pursue her more. It's the energy. We're just talking about energy, bro, right? Increase testosterone, increase energy for your life and for your results. So flesh versus spirit, diving deeper, guys, and keep writing notes during this. The flesh, really important. Let's take your time with this. The flesh is the core of all your issues. Why? Because it's keeping you distracted. There is a veil, right? You went through week 1. You understand that. There is a veil, right? That's why all this is added up. It's almost impossible to see and understand if you're not meditating or being in silence. But once you understand that truth, you won't want to chase anything on the external world. Why? Because that's illusionary. You're chasing wind, Ecclesiastes in the Bible, but you're also I lost my train of thought. When you're chasing the outside world, you're missing the point, because at the end of that, it's dust. There's nothing there. So you're wasting time, right? So the Spirit, what we're doing here, is the source of all your peace that you want, because at the end of the day, you want peace, which is silence within you, power and abundance that you seek. And where is it? It's not outside, it's within you. The kingdom of God is within you. So moving your focus from the result, moving your focus from the external world of what all of you want to achieve in life, which is good, it's still good to have, but know that your worth is not tied to that. Really sit with this. Let's take our time. I know this might be on 1.5 speed or 2x speed. You guys want to get through this. Stop consuming so much content and really feel it. There's so much noise going on in the modern world. If you just sit in silence for like a minute and really feel what you consume, you'll start to embody it more. So pushing up the mountain, I should say mountain, not mounting. Pushing up the mountain, again, nothing wrong with that. That's respectable, so much more respectable than not doing it. Versus getting pulled up the mountain. Why? Because you're connected. You see that difference? You're connected to a higher being, a higher power that's pulling you up. But you have to release the flesh completely. Crucify the flesh is what we talk about in Paladin in the gym. So it's time to tap into this, guys. We're going to do a nice little meditation. So what I want you guys to do is go ahead and get nice and settled. If you're driving, just wait until you're pulled over and stuff like that. And then we're going to begin. All right, guys, so welcome back. So what we're going to be doing is just get nice and settled, relax, and close the eyes. Take a deep breath in through the nose, out the mouth. Relax your shoulders. A lot of us men, you hold a lot of pressure on your shoulders. Just release that. All right, this time is for you. Give yourself gratitude for being here. A lot of love for investing in this course, investing in yourself, and taking the leap. Trusting your intuition. And we're going to begin. So, the intention for you with this meditation is to connect you to the highest version of you. That version that isn't doing anything for the external world, but simply being for the sake of being. So the first step is taking a deep breath in through the nose, out the mouth, and let go of that beach ball. Let go of the mind. And allow your energy to pop all the way up towards this level of certainty, this level of conviction, this level of God. Knowing that you are not the one, humbly. Feel that humility and that love, that you are a soldier of God, and that's beautiful. The ego freaks out. I want to be the one. I want to be him. I want to be that. That will only get you so far. Because once you realize this truth, that you are a ray within the sun, S-U-N, and S-O-N. So you realize that. What's the truth? You are now connected to every single being in the world. If you were not above everybody with ego, saying you are the one, then you're able to be connected to everybody around you. That is your highest self. Your highest self is the highest version of humanity. It's everybody in you. And so when you realize that every person around you is a son and daughter of God, and you're one of them that is doing the work, and you're becoming more and more like a child of God. And as you become more and more like God, I want you now to imagine and receive, don't try so hard here, but receive the notion that everything is dissolving into light. Your past, your future, the stories about yourself. Your mind is dissolving within your heart. And as you feel that, at one moment, everything goes. And the only thing left is this pure love for yourself, for humanity, for God. Feel that energy. Where do you feel it? You feel it in your heart. Your heart is the source of your new identity. Your heart is the source of Him. And as you dive deeper into the silence, into this love for yourself, continue letting everything go. In this emptiness, time does not exist. In this emptiness, the only thing that's real is you and me together right now. You listening to me, you hearing my voice, in the present moment. Your past does not exist. Everything that has happened or transpired throughout this time, let it go. The future is not in your hands. You can plan for the future, but God will take you where He needs to take you if you're connected. Let go of that responsibility. Definitely have your vision. You have your vision, but surrender how it takes place. The how is not up to you. That's what you're stressed about all the time, is how do you do it? Once you know what you're doing, then you're thinking about how I do it. And that's the source of all your misery. And that will continue for the rest of your life until you surrender how to God. Now, before we bring it back, receive the most pure version of you. He's right in front of you. He's your age, maybe a year or two later. Okay? Look at his body. Look at the aesthetics of his body. Feel his heart. How solid is he? Does he not trust himself? Is he not keeping his word at all, so he gets pushed over? Or is he so solid and so grounded that he attracts like the sun? The more solid you are, man, the higher your gravity. This is the truth. You don't have to try to do anything, man. You don't have to perform anymore. You don't have to do anything to impress people, to win people over. That's not a king. You don't need to do that. This is kingmakers. Gravity, which can only come from your solidness within yourself, which can only come from your relationship to God, that surrender, that you know you don't have control, and you trust God, you have faith in God, then you're relaxed. And you keep your word, which is your word with God. Then gravity increases so much that you will attract inevitably the provisions that are in integrity and are of God. You will attract the right relationships to you. Imagine all these things being attracted to this version right here, right now. This version of you is like this black hole attracting only good things, though. Special kind of black hole. I know you guys love special kinds of black holes. But as you attract those things, all you're doing is staying solid. You're not doing anything. You're not pushing it away, right? You're not trying to do anything. You are simply being, bro. How peaceful is that? And look at this person's energy. Now what I want you to do before you come back, bring yourself, your heart is now, whoop, it like wishes, and it goes to this version of his heart. You are now this man. Feel the energy. And if you can, stand up right now. Feel the energy. Put your arms out. Put your palms up. And feel the energy of all the things coming to you without you trying. But you're not manifesting. That's the whole thing. That's not you like doing witchcraft or whatever. Because that's the 3D. You're still empty. You can have both, but only the pure. Because the peace that you feel, you don't need anything more. It's just a symptom of you being a king. You feel that, right? You don't have to manifest more things. The next goal, there's not the next thing, man. It's just now. And now you feel this gravity. Where you feel this, if you're standing up, gentlemen, you're going to feel this in your balls. You feel it in your balls mostly, that heaviness in your balls. Your solar plexus, your sacral chakra, a lot of the lower roots, you feel this groundedness. And as these areas get cleared, what happens, and you will feel this in this course, you will eventually be living from the crown. You'll be crowned as the king. This is why this is kingmakers. The crown is the chakra above the head. Once you embody the king, you're living with that connection. The reason why it's above the head is because it's not in the body. It's the only chakra that's not within the body. So what does that mean? It means it's connected to a higher source. But we have to earn that by going through this. So feel this energy. The old version of you dissolves into dust, and you are now this man. Take a deep breath in through the nose and out through the mouth. And slowly come back. How's that? Take your time. Pause the video if you need to. I encourage all of you to go ahead and just journal a little bit about your experience, about what you're letting go, what you're now embodying. Take some time now, pause this video, and do that for around 3 minutes. And then come back when you're ready. So if you're here, I'm assuming that you're ready. Definitely journal if you haven't already. It's really important to write these things down, guys, like hand to paper. But for all of you else, we'll go ahead and continue. So, soldier of God, so are you up to this new level of standard? right? It's time to rise up and stand for truth, which is what you just embodied. Eliminate, that's a typo, eliminate. Eliminate all typos. Eliminate all that does not serve your highest self and God. Let's write that down. Question for you to journal for your homework. What are you eliminating that does not serve your highest self and God? Habits, thinking processes, people. Kingmakers, you want to be a king. You want to have a kingdom. I mean, that's kingdom makers. You want to be a king means full dominion over yourself, right? So what that means is controlling the world inside you. No one knows the world inside you but you. And no one knows the world inside you to the degree in which you're able to communicate it. So you increasing your ability to communicate your world to the other world, that's you impacting everything else. Incorporating only that in which does. So write that down. What can I incorporate? Only that which does. The only thing that serves your highest purpose. That highest vision that you have. You don't know how, but the highest vision that you have for your life. Write that down. And take some time after this, not now, but to journal all that and make sure that you're there. Now, I want to be super clear. Listen, you need to find the balance yourself. You don't need to be a monk. That's not what I'm saying. You need to sacrifice the major things that's bringing you off the path. But also, does that mean, hey, Spencer, I can't have sugar anymore? I'd say no. You could have sugar. You could, hey, Spencer, can I, not watch Netflix anymore? You can watch Netflix, man. But that's my opinion. It's subjective. I'm all right, you can watch that. It's important to, have those pleasures. But I know for me, and maybe for you as well, is why you're in this, that can go down a slippery slope, bro. A little bit of sugar can lead to a lot of sugar. A little bit of dopamine can lead to a lot of dopamine. A little bit of casual sex can lead to a lot of casual sex. Sex is a whole different world. We're actually going to talk about that in Sexual Energy Alchemy, one of our modules. But you need to find the balance yourself and don't bullshit yourself. Notice what's bullshit and what's not. And pray to God. Ask what's true for you and feel that. You'll be stepping into the 0.00001% of men stepping forward in this. So this is the war. Paladin, we build the weapons of the body, right? And then kingmakers, we're building an army of kings. And then kingdom makers, you're building your own businesses, you're building your own impact, impacting the entire world. And we have our in-person retreats. That's beautiful. And you can create your own thing. That's the whole point of this. You creating your own DMI. You creating your own business, your own franchise. That's what I want for you. I won't take any cut of that. I don't care about that money. I care about your impact. The currency is the amount of hearts that you can bring back to God, back to themselves. That's the currency, man. So, throughout this course, you will begin to not only become the man who operates like a king in 90 days or less. It's actually a little bit more than 90 days. It's 13 weeks. But you will begin to fully embody your authentic frequency of him. And this is really important to know, okay? You will fully embody your authentic frequency of him. All of you have an authentic frequency, guys. Authentic frequency. And this authentic frequency, no one can touch. No one can take from you. Only you can embody that. So when you're trying to be someone else, you're trying to appease people, you're hurting yourself and you're hurting God because he wants to work through you. So your authenticity comes from your full embodiment of that frequency. Okay? So practice just being authentic. If you're single, you're going on dates, this is actually one of the best things, is just being so authentic. Not you're just being yourself. Or let's say a new social event. Social events are so important to be authentic. It's easy to be authentic when you're by yourself. The test is when you're around other people, when you're around your family. So constantly expose yourself to not just romantic settings, but social settings, new opportunities socially, and just be yourself. Don't try, notice what comes up. But if you get triggered and it's I'm trying to people please this person, don't beat yourself up. Really feel that and release that throughout this course in Soma Breathwork. So then you can be more authentic. Now, getting to the root. We're almost done, guys. Call back to the first week. Remember, your life is a reflection of not just your thoughts, but your energy. Do you remember that? This energy that you radiate, the frequency that we talked about week 1, full circle, is God. Feel that. Not your thoughts, not whatever's going on right now in your thoughts. Your embodiment of truth, capital T, is your authentic frequency of love. Everything that comes from God, from that, is harmonizing. So right now, feel that. Right now, and write this down, harmonizing and chaos. The harmonization is from love. And we're going to see this in this course. So I'm not even going to talk about this. I'm just going to show you. Because what you seek is optimization, right? But what you understand now is your underlying symptoms of the issue. So there's a water crystal study by this guy, this beautiful man named Dr. Emoto. Look how happy he is. He's a beast. In this study, Dr. Emoto, what he did was he exposed water samples to different words, music, and intentions. Really cool study. And what he found was that human consciousness affects water structures. Okay? He then photographed these crystals showing positive words and intentions created beautiful, and I'm going to show you, beautiful, harmonious crystals, symmetrical crystals. Negative words and intention created chaos. I'll put the study below. You're actually not made of 70%, 75% water. I think that's bullshit. I believe it's like 55 to 65. You're more than half water, okay? Do you think this doesn't affect you? When you think a negative thought, does that create chaos within your body? And then that creates chaos in your life? Because why? In the Kabbalion, they talk about this. All is mind. Write that down. All is mind. Whatever's going on externally has nothing to do with your relationship. That's not true. But your relationship to what's going on externally, this is true, has nothing to do with what's going on there. It's going on what's going on here with yourself. Now, if you are harmonizing that water inside you, guess what's going to happen externally? Harmonization, organization, and focus. You want focus, you want results in this program. You're getting that now, right? It's not about addressing the symptoms or even different structures that can help you. It's about really embodying this gravity, and everything will come from there. Now, look at this, guys. Look how beautiful this water crystal is. He did these intentions, and then he froze it. Thank you, created this beautiful, symmetrical harmony, wisdom, different truth looks even more beautiful. Look at the truth. Powerful stuff, right, guys? It's just like more complicated than thank you. Eternal looks beautiful. Angel, I mean, it knows these words almost, right, guys? It's creating a halo for angel. That's crazy. Come on. I love you. Peace. And then look, you fool. If you're even present right now, you can feel it. You fool. Chaos. You make me sick. Makes the water sick. I feel it in my heart. Evil. Polluted water before prayer. Polluted water after prayer. I mean, guys, this is absolute evidence that your consciousness affects water, which affects reality. And it also shows that water is alive. Write this down. Pray for your water. I'm not even kidding. Invest in powerful, and we have a whole resource on this. Invest in Mountain Valley if you can. Invest in a reverse osmosis water filter. Put minerals in it and pray for it. It harmonizes as you put into it. It's alive. It brings life, of course. Same with plants. That's why I always love vegans. They're like, oh, I don't eat anything that's alive. I'm like, bro, how do you know like your plants are not alive? There's actually some evidence that they are. You're eating conscious plants, bro. So stupid. But you feel this, right? Like this is life-changing for you, right? So you're made up to 70% water. I looked this up after. I don't believe this. It's up to 70% perhaps. But you want, listen guys, this is the most important thing. You want an effortless, powerful, harmonious existence, right? All of you are here because there might be some chaos internally, which is creating external chaos. You want the effortless, powerful, harmonious existence. It begins with your energy. Then everything will be unto you. We're getting to the root. You feel that, right? Let's write that down. The root equals energy. Time back to week 1. This goes deeper than thoughts and words. Water doesn't speak English, bruh. It doesn't know these words, right? It doesn't know the words. Perhaps it does. But it's likely the energy behind when they said those words. Thank you. Thank you. You make me sick. It's the energy. If you look at the frequency, vibration, Tesla talked about that. You want to know the secrets of the universe? Think in terms of frequency, vibration, and something else. These are the deep root cause. So the question for you, man, we're going to wrap this up. Do you choose God, spirit, and life, being a soldier of God, or lies, flesh, and chaos? Make the decision now. If you choose lies, flesh, and chaos, you can leave the course, no problem. If you choose God, spirit, and life, we're going to continue. I'm assuming all of you are in the army. Let's go. So actions equal worship. Operating as a divine individual. Integrity, confidence, and no burnout. This is just who you are. Your actions become an act of worship because they're in integrity. Let's write that down. Integrity equals actions. When you're in integrity with your standards and everything else, that's love. So this comes down to deep, deep self-love. Humility, love, care for yourself, care for your soul by being in integrity. Just like taking care of a flower. It's very gentle. And what happens with a flower is it can break very easily. Be very careful. People will recognize this in you by your eyes and your energy. Women will reflect that. Women are so beautiful because they're mirrors. You can get triggered. I used to get triggered so much by women. And I don't like at all, not at all, but like so much less. I definitely do still. And I love it because I'm like, all right, what else do I need to look at, right? Like this is the most beautiful thing. Men will start respecting you more and almost feel challenged. So some might feel intimidated. Some might rise to your energy. And those are the guys that you want to be around, right? People, I already said that. Quality of life deepens drastically. You don't want more life. You want deeper life, quality. Deep down, you desire, we just said that too, right? You can see how like all this ties together, guys. Deep down, you desire more depth, not more horizontal surface level stuff. Let's stop here. We're almost there, guys. I know this is a long presentation, but this is important. Write this down. You think you want more horizontal things on this plane. More money, success, all those different things. More validation, more. By being disciplined, I'm going to push and get those things. When what you really need is dropping down and more depth in your life. You feel that difference, right? Be a gravitational pull, not a horizontal flat plane, because horizontal is very flat. This is very depth. You become a well, and then you overflow with that well. Dude, that's crazy, bro. I completely even forgot I wrote this. That's insane. That's how you know the Holy Spirit's working through this, man. I'm right there with you guys. This is crazy. Holy shit. Becoming a well of energy, I promise you, you will receive more love than you'll ever know what to do with because you have the space to hold it, right? You will operate at a level that feels more like floating than pushing. And don't get me wrong, you are still a warrior. You as king, warrior, magician, lover, which is another great book. I'll put that below this. But the main thing is you're not pushing, you're floating. And you're still fighting. But you know that you're fighting for a higher cause. So it's almost like a warrior who doesn't care if he dies. Imagine the courage that you have going to war knowing that you're saved. You would go all out, right? Same with your life. The rest of this course is dedicated for you to become that, for you to become this well and this embodiment of the king. Crucify the flesh. The next step, guys, is to crucify the flesh. Calm down. We're not doing anything crazy. The next phase, which is the purge, will help you do just that. Okay? I want to give you some practical things right now, and we're going to talk about the practical thing in the next slide. But purge is going to be really intense. We're going to be doing some breath work and making sure that you release energetic blocks within the body so the Holy Spirit can work through you. You start from your root, and then you end at the crown, and you'll be crowned as the king by the end of this course. One pointed focus, 3 inches above the head. Sexual alchemy is necessary for this. I'll talk about this. The flesh is not ignored, okay? You're not, like, beating the flesh. You're just surrendering the flesh. It is simply being dethroned by the boy king. I'm sorry. Being dethroned like the boy king. So, this is you, bro. Let's go, man. Congratulations. Like, that's the energy right there. Come on. Your ancestors are cheering you on, man. Last but not least is radiation. All right, guys. So we got radiation comes from divine integrity. So the energy we speak about comes down to your word. Let there be light. Boom. That's the power that you, well, you're not God, but that's the power that you can have the image of as closely as possible. And we do that, guys, by having a 45-day DMI challenge. I'm gonna send you the Notion board below. That's going to help. Right now, your mind does not trust your soul. That's why your mind is overactive. So we must gradually build up that trust so it can surrender to you. The mind is feminine. A lot of people think that the mind is masculine, which in a way it is. And I don't mean like men or women. It's feminine energy-wise because it can be kind of like chaotic, of like all over the place. Masculine is order. Masculine energy is order, yin and yang. The heart's actually masculine. Like people think the heart is feminine. The heart is actually very masculine because the heart is your connection to God. So we're kind of flipping what people talk about, and you'll start. I'm not telling you this. I want you to experience this yourself and let me know. But this is what we know. You'll start feeling this. I promise you, 100%. All right. So we're gonna do the 45-day challenge, guys. That's gonna be below. That's gonna give you a practical challenge throughout this course. That's gonna change your life. Complete the 45-day challenge, and everything will be great. You also, by now, you'll have a call with someone on our team to set you up, make sure that you're really clear. You'll have a public accountability, and you'll be connected with a shield mate. So 5 standards. So we talked about this in Paladin. All of you should already complete Paladin, but if you didn't, 5 standards are just 7. If you just do that for 7 days, your mind will quiet 100%. What are the 5 standards? I'm going to show you in the next slide. But it's 5 things that you can stick to. Wake up time, meditation for 20 minutes, whatever. But you stick to it on a daily basis. This will quiet your mind 100%. And I'm talking from experience because I had OCD, and now I truly don't. My mind can sometimes get there, but it doesn't. So why? Because your mind takes the back seat because your soul is in integrity with God. View them as the foundation for a house. It's like a scaffolding. If one falls, don't beat yourself up because that can make the whole thing fall. Return immediately with love. Don't beat yourself up. Return immediately with love. When you stumble, return with love. However, you want to balance between grace and commitment. It can go down a road of like, oh, I love myself, I'm okay. Yes, love yourself, you're okay. I'm not saying like beat yourself up at all, but no excuses, man. Let's do this, right? So divine assignments. This is the example that I have here, guys. This is created on Notion. So for me, it was 7 a.m. wake up, stay up, 20 minutes of meditation twice a day, 45 minutes of activity before noon, 10 pages of reading, and journal for 1 page. It could be anything, bro. It could be 10 minutes of meditation. It could be 1 minute. It doesn't matter. But choose standards that are tied to your highest self that you embody throughout this presentation. So create your set of 5 standards and stick to it. And I have a GPT that can help you with this. Begin your 45-day challenge from below and tap in with your cohort. You'll receive your cohort if you haven't already. Booking that call with our team, we'll send you that. And then, or you can book with us. All right, guys? That's it. Amazing work. This is one that, honestly, this you got the investment and more from this presentation. This is something I wish I had when I was starting my journey to embodiment and dominion. And believe me, I wasn't like in dominion at all. And everything I gave you this is from pain and suffering and everything I went through for the glory of God. This is something that now you're going to embody and go through and teach other people. So really proud of you, man. And I'll see you in the next one.